Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this special announcement on Zoom and Facebook livestream. Today, Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens is joined by Gary McNamara, the Warden of the County of Essex. We're also joined by representatives from our local media, while everyone else is able to join us via Facebook livestream. Mayor Dilkens and Warden McNamara will provide remarks, followed by questions from the media. Media members, please use the raise hand function in the Zoom screen to request a question at the end of the announcement. Once the conversation has wrapped up, media members will be called on to ask questions and your microphone will be enabled. Thank you for your attendance and participation today. I will turn things over to Mayor Dilkens now to start us off. Please go ahead, Your Worship.
Well, thanks very much, Dana, and good morning, everyone. Certainly very happy to be here with the Warden of Essex County, Gary McNamara, and today we are launching WEVaxToWin, our regional effort to help drive up vaccination rates in Windsor-Essex County. Residents across the city and the county have been certainly doing their part to fight against the continued threat of COVID-19 by getting double vaccinated. So today, the city and the county have come together to develop a lottery of sorts that will offer a series of prizes for all of those in our region who have been fully vaccinated. Now, the goal of this campaign is twofold. We are obviously thanking all of those who have already been inoculated and offering an additional incentive for those who have yet to book their appointment. This contest will be unique to residents in Windsor and Essex County, and the prizes have been sourced locally, and they include a property tax holiday for one household that is fully vaccinated, up to $10,000 for the 2022 property tax year. We're also offering the same, a $10,000 credit for those who are renting. We will pay your landlord directly in 2022. Clair College and the University of Windsor have come forward to offer full ride tuition for a bachelor degree or a diploma program. Again, Clair College and the University of Windsor have coming forward to say we are going to give full ride tuition for a full bachelor degree or diploma program. Windsor Regional Hospital has donated over $5,000 worth of prizes and incentives, including PlayStation 5 gaming consoles. Tourism Windsor-Essex and Pelee Island have provided multiple prizes for winners to enjoy the best that Windsor-Essex has to offer, and this is just the beginning. Many more exciting prizes will be announced in the weeks ahead. Now, both the city and the county have earmarked $100,000 each for a total of $200,000 towards these prizes, and donations from other businesses and organizations will certainly help drive the ultimate prize board even higher. In the past few days, the warden and I have been quietly making phone calls to solicit donations and prizes. And so as we launch this incentive, we are also committed to keeping the random draw going as long as donation and prizes are offered up. And to that end, we are also here today to encourage further donations from local corporate partners. Now, my extreme gratitude to the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation, Clair College, Patty France has been fantastic. The University of Windsor and President Gordon, again, just fantastic in their response, as well as Tourism Windsor-Essex and Pelee Island. They have already stepped up in very, very significant ways to help support this cause. Others are encouraged to call our offices today, call the warden, call my office, and make a contribution to this effort. Now, contest rules and details will be made available shortly, and everyone can sign up to win at WEVaxToWin.ca. Again, WEVaxToWin.ca, WEVaxToWin.ca. Now, earlier this week, both the city and the county joined with other large employers in Canada to implement a mandatory vaccination policy for our employees. And so when entering a municipal facility, residents certainly need to have the confidence that they are interacting with staff who have been fully vaccinated, and staff returning to the workplace need to feel safe, secure, and supported. And a few days ago, the US FDA officially approved the Pfizer vaccine for widespread use, ending the emergency order that the drug was previously distributed under in that country. And that means that the Pfizer vaccine is at least as safe as all of those inoculations that we get as school kids against polio, hepatitis, and tuberculosis. And it will just be a matter of time before Canada follows suit. Folks, the debate certainly has ended. Vaccines are the safest way to protect against the rising tide of the fourth wave, which has already started across Ontario and Canada. And to the extent that these prizes act as a motivation for anyone who is hesitant to roll up their sleeve, we both sure hope that it does. And I hope that some of the random draw winners are folks who were first in line when the mass vaccination sites first opened in our community earlier this year. Our message today is simple. Our community and our local economic recovery is relying on a fully vaccinated public to guard against further pandemic risk. Don't delay, get vaccinated today. And I'd like to thank you all for joining in and turn the mic over to our warden, Gary McNamara.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Dilkins. And I can tell you it's been a glorious summer in Windsor and Essex County, and it almost seemed like a return to normal some days as we gathered on patios and parks and caught up with friends and family, and we hadn't seen in person for more than a year. But the fourth wave of COVID-19 is on our doorstep, and this community needs to do everything we can to keep it at bay. We can physically distance, we can mask, and we can take other sensible precaution. But the single most important thing that we can do is get vaccinated. The evidence is very clear. Vaccines work. They work on an individual level, offering greater protection against severe illness and death. And they work on a community level, helping to prevent our healthcare systems from being overwhelmed. There is no doubt this has become a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Of the 9 patients in Windsor Regional Hospital as of Monday, 8 were unvaccinated. And Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health said yesterday the unvaccinated were 8 times more likely to catch COVID-19, 29 times more likely to wind up in hospital, and 48 times more likely to wind up in ICU. The decision to opt against vaccination doesn't just affect the person who refuses the jab. And if I did, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And I certainly wouldn't be advocating expending public resources on a vaccine lottery. But the decision to opt out threatens to overwhelm our healthcare system, staffed by our paramedics, our doctors, our nurses, who are extremely fatigued. It threatens the most vulnerable among us, including our children, too young to get vaccinated. And it threatens to derail our economic recovery, especially in a region like Windsor-Essex, so heavily reliant on an open border and tourism and a good hospitality sector. I need to stress this again. Our healthcare workers are tired. Many are retiring, leaving the profession, and it is becoming increasingly difficult to recruit. That problem will only grow worse and have a cascading effect on our entire healthcare system if our hospital beds fill up with unvaccinated patients. We all need to do our part to help the healthcare workers who have always helped us. I'm not sure anyone loves the lotto more than Windsor-Essex County residents who drive across the border, pick up Powerball tickets whenever jackpots reach record levels. And I certainly hope this regional campaign will encourage those with reservations to do the right thing for their community, for their family, for their co-workers, for their friends, and get vaccinated. There are some incredible prizes from some vital community partners, and I anticipate even more businesses will join this collaborative effort. Giving away gift cards to our local restaurants and eateries will do more than reward people who have been vaccinated and encourage the reluctant ones to get the jab. It will provide an economic boost to our tourism sector, which has been hit particularly hard by this pandemic, and which may get hit again if cases of the Delta variant continue to surge in our region. This region cannot afford another lockdown. Our children should not have to again endure the isolation of remote learning, and our hardworking healthcare workers need a helping hand. It's not too late to get vaccinated, and there's never been a better time. You can win by getting vaccinated, and so can our community. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it back to Dana.
Thank you very much, Warden. Thank you, Mayor Dilkins. At this time, members of the media, if you do have a question for either the mayor or the warden, take a moment now to use the raise hand function at the bottom of your Zoom screen to queue up for a question. Our first question is coming from Michelle Molesky at City of Windsor. Michelle, go ahead, enable your microphone, please.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my question. I appreciate it. I guess I can see how this would motivate people who are not yet vaccinated to, say, okay, I'll enter it. Are you going to weed through the entries to try to find someone like that, someone who hasn't gotten a shot up until today, and reward them for doing what this lottery is meant to do?
No, that's actually not the plan. Is to we're not going to segregate the entrance to the contest. The goal is to get the community vaccinated, and so we don't want to disadvantage those who step forward early to roll up their sleeves and to do what's being asked of them. And certainly, we know where we're starting. We know what the numbers look like from the starting point, and we will know at the end of the contest what the numbers look like. And the warden and I have spoken about this, the fact that we've basically plateaued at this particular time. So we'll see. We'll know whether this has done its job. We expect that it will help get some folks who are sitting on the fence right now, who are a little hesitant to say, you know what, let's go do it. Let's reflect on what the warden and the mayor just said, and let's look at what the FDA has done. Let's track where Health Canada is on the full approval here. And for those parents out there, you know, who have kids who are 12 to 17 years old and they're just not quite sure, maybe the offer and the prospect of full ride tuition at the University of Windsor or St. Clair College is going to be enough for them to say, yeah, let's just go do it and get our name in that particular draw. And so everyone who enters will be eligible to win. We don't plan on segregating those who got the vaccine after a certain date. It's anyone in Windsor-Essex. If you're living here, you can register to win. You'll be eligible for the prizes. And if your name is selected, the obligation will be on you to prove that you are fully vaccinated in order to claim your prize.
Follow up?
Thank you. I guess my only follow-up would be, you know, this is also a call to action to local businesses. Obviously, these are some pretty big prizes that are already out there in terms of financial rewards. What kind of prizes are you looking for from the community? Maybe Warden, I'll have you answer that one. What is the call out to businesses? Is it everything from a $100 gift card all the way up to the sky's the limit? I mean, we all know this is a generous community. Are you hoping that the business community steps up for you once again?
Well, thanks for the question, Michelle. Absolutely. And as we know, and I alluded in my remarks as well, is that our retail and certainly our hospitality industry and tourism has been hit extremely hard. And this is an opportunity for our folks to, through these prizes to patronize these facilities and to create, obviously, an excitement in terms of keeping those businesses open. We cannot, and I can't emphasize this enough, have another lockdown within the region. We know how they suffered. And it's created an angst amongst not only the owners of these businesses, but certainly all of the employees that have faced uncertainty in their jobs moving forward. And so it's certainly an opportunity for our region, our businesses to come together to get that last mile. You know, I look at this, we've done the first 40 kilometers in the marathon. We've got 2 more to go and to reach the final goal. And if we look at the last 6 weeks in particular, our fully vaccinated have moved roughly a percentage point. And now we're falling way behind the provincial. So we need to have that, maybe that little boost and that opportunity, and it'll be twofold. People get protected, and then our businesses are protected, and saves them from lockdown.
Thanks very much, Michelle. The next question comes from Rob Hindy at AM 800. Rob, please go ahead, enable your microphone.
This is for either Drew or Gary. I'm not sure who wants to answer it, but you're probably going to have those in the community that think this might be a waste of money. $200,000 could be spent elsewhere in our communities. What do you say to those individuals?
Gary, you tag in here. Gary and I had a long conversation about this, and we've thought long and hard about it. And what the warden just said to Michelle in his last response, I think, was bang on. And that is, we cannot afford another lockdown in this community. And $100,000 is a lot of money. And $100,000 from each side is a lot of money. And we recognize that. But we know that the cost of sitting here waiting, hoping that things change, hoping that simply pushing out education information and that the situation is going to change is probably not the only thing that has to happen. We probably have to have a carrot in order to help people who are hesitant get over the hump and get the vaccine. And this is a shared community goal. It is a shared regional goal that we have to get the entire region fully vaccinated so that we don't ever have to go back into lockdown, because the cost of doing so will be far greater than $200,000. And so we're seeing this as an investment to make sure that we don't get back into lockdown, that we help encourage people to get vaccinated so that we can all get over this COVID hump together and get back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah, I just want to add to the mayor's comments, Rob. When you look at, you know, the $200,000, what's at risk is far greater than that. If you look at the investments that the City of Windsor, the County of Essex, and our 7 municipalities have brought forward in the last 18 months to help support our businesses, is far greater. And if you look at the, you know, the management of at least trying to save these businesses, they pay taxes to the municipality. These businesses go under, then that's lost revenue for the future for us, and whoever's left behind, and we'll have to pick up those dollars, or you know, there's a domino effect from it. So if you look at, yes, you know, 200,000 is a lot of money, but if you look at the big picture, and this is what we're asking our residents to do, look at the big picture. This is what, if this gets us up to the 80% mark and fully vaccinated, that's going to save our jobs. It's going to save our service industry, and certainly give our tourism that has been hit hard a boost moving forward. So that's basically the excuse me, the discussions that the mayor and I had was, if we do nothing and just struggle to get folks to get the jab, we're risking the future of many jobs in our community. And so it's let's look at this as an investment, not a cost, but as an investment.
And Gary and I haven't spoken about this particular issue, but I want to tie this in to something that was in the newspaper just the other day. And on the business side, everything the warden just said, we spoke about, and we absolutely believe together that it is an investment. But you know, I'll tell you, I was moved by the story that was in the Windsor Star the other day about Father Phil Janice, whose son, 25-year-old Matt Janice, committed suicide. And the story talked about the effects of the pandemic in terms of isolation, in terms of feeling lonely. And I'm sure the Prime Minister knows, I'm sure the Premier's felt the same thing. And Warden, I have to imagine you and I feel the same on this, that everything we've done in this pandemic, every decision we've had to make, we know that there is someone on the receiving end that will be disenfranchised, will be frustrated with that decision. And we've tried to navigate our way through this in the most sensible way possible. And there are people out there who have been impacted by decisions that have been made by all levels of government. And so I feel for that father and that mother who have to deal with the suicide of their son, who felt isolated during this pandemic. And I don't want to see any other family have to go through a situation like that, where that man had, you know, 2 young kids under 5 years old that, you know, are now left without a father. And so that is part of this as well. And Gary and I are human, and we're fathers, and we feel the impact of what we read and what's happening in the community around us. And so absolutely, on the business side, this is an investment. But there's a human side here as well that we cannot ignore, that is impacting the community. And in part, this is meant to address that situation and those situations as well.
Follow up?
Gary, as chair of the board, obviously we all see the numbers that come out daily when it comes to the vaccination rates. For the last couple of weeks, the percentage hasn't really changed, maybe the 1% or 2% there here. Are you concerned? Are you worried that individuals have made up their mind already that they're not going to get vaccinated and our numbers could stay that way for some time?
Well, I do have concerns. There's no doubt. That's why we're here today, you know, doing this press conference and trying to motivate those who are sitting on the fence. The mayor alluded earlier about Pfizer now is fully approved in the United States. So it's just a matter of time it's going to happen here. I'm hoping that all of those initiatives are going to push for people, over to getting the vaccination. The numbers are escalating on a daily basis. And the other issue as well is that, again, now we're at 18 months, moving on to 2 years into this pandemic. Our hospital staff, our EMS, our nurses, our doctors are extremely fatigued and tired. There's so many of our healthcare professionals that are leaving the profession. And yes, I'm worried. The mayor's worried. We hear it all the time. We operate long-term care facilities respectively in our own communities, and they're housed by PSWs, nurses, we see it in the faces of these professionals. And so I'm very concerned with school opening very shortly. Do we want our kids now again to be, faced with the realities of now learning off-site and the virtual learning? And we know the difficulties that has brought forward. The difficulties of our teachers and the difficulties of our professors in university and colleges. That's why the college and the universities and them are coming on board on this initiative, because they want to have a healthy faculty, a healthy student body, talking to our folks at the health unit, they are concerned. And so we have to try to bring this fourth wave to a halt as soon as possible. And if we can bump those numbers by an additional 5-10%, that means 5 or 10% of the population, will be healthy, will be not in hospital, will not die. And those are the important things. So we need to continue to push hard, educate folks. Vaccines are safe, and all around. And there's so many human stories out there of how the pandemics has affected the psyche of individuals. We just heard the story that the mayor just alluded to, and I'll tell you, it's as a community leader, yeah, we're faced with getting both sides of this, but at the end of the day, it's a health and safety, public health, but it's a health and safety issue. And as a head of a corporation that has many employees, I'll tell you, it is something that I worry every night I go to bed. And I have young grandkids that can't be vaccinated, and they're out, and I worry about them. So it's a long story short, but Rob, yes, we're concerned, and that's why we're here today, to try to drive this up so that we can get our numbers up to the point where herd immunity really will take effect, and to protect our citizens. That's our responsibility. We took an oath to work and to work hard for our communities to make sure that the services were all there, but also the human factor that we have as well is we want to protect our citizens. Just like we want to protect them from flooding, we want to protect them from all kinds of other issues. We want to protect their health.
Thanks, Rob. Our next question comes to us from Jennifer LaGrassa. Jennifer, please go ahead.
Hi there, good morning. So I might have missed this at the beginning, but how much of the 200,000 is coming from the city, or is that all, is it all made up of donations from community partners?
The city and the county have each committed to $100,000, and we continue to seek donations from other partners, much like we've seen with Windsor Regional Hospital, the university, the college, and others. So we encourage donations, we encourage sponsorships, but we were guaranteeing that there will be at least $200,000 worth of prizes as part of this contest.
That's
follow-up?
great. Thank you. Yeah, I was just wondering, as we know, the fourth wave has already started in our region. We have neighborhoods with some of the highest case rate positivity in the province. What other ways are you really preparing this region for that fourth wave?
Warden, did you want to take it from a health unit perspective?
Well, just repeat the question again, Jennifer.
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering what other ways you're preparing the region for that fourth wave, as we're already seeing it here.
Well, I mean, part of it, the numbers, if we look at the numbers, yes, you're right, in terms of the positivity rate kind of leading the province at this stage here. But a lot of it, to me, it's the proof's in the pudding. When you look at the numbers of fully vaccinated individuals in our community, we're lagging behind the province. And so that plays into why the numbers are higher in our region. So it's important for us to educate our public. So the health unit is doing its best as well. You listen to Dr. Ahmed and certainly Nicole Dupuy and their almost daily messages, how important it is for us to get vaccinated. The vaccines are safe. And if you look at, when you look at the numbers of folks that are heading to hospital, folks that are being extremely sick, going to ICU, looking at folks that are actually dying of COVID, it's the highest percentage are unvaccinated people. That's why we have to do everything that we can to encourage and offer incentives to individuals that are on that line. We need to get them to fall on the side of caution is one thing, but for them. But the reality is, if you really want to be informed, and you look at the data that's out there and the benefits of vaccines, you will hopefully say, you know what, I'm going to do it. And so that's the biggest piece for us. Get those numbers up, and let's lead the province again, which we did. We had the quickest rollout. We were leading up until 6 weeks ago. And now we need to get that extra push to get us close to that 80%.
I should also, in addition to what the warden just said, I know the health unit had reached out, Dr. Ahmed had reached out to me and said, can we get a bus? And so there is a partnership with Transit Windsor and the health unit. They're going to start taking out the vaccine bus into different neighborhoods to try and drive up vaccination rates as well. And so it's really the health unit doing a great job, an on the ground effort, trying to get into these neighborhoods and pick up, frankly, the ones and twos and the threes, maybe on a street where, there may be less uptake than in other parts of the city. So we appreciate that effort as well.
Jennifer, thank you very much for the question. Members of the media, any further questions for the mayor and warden? All right, gentlemen. Oh, forgive me. One more follow-up question here from Rob Hindy. Rob, please go ahead.
Sorry, just looking at the release that was just sent out. So I just want to make a clarification. Some of the prizes are for county residents and some of them are for city residents. Is that safe to say?
We're not going to split hairs here,
But sorry, maybe the property tax one, is that more city or is that both? Or
I think that's for both.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to get the clarification.
Anywhere where you think that it might be interpreted as a city-only prize or a county-only prize, it is a prize regardless of where you live in Windsor and Essex County. This is a regional initiative, a regional effort. There are no boundaries for winning prizes as long as you live within the boundary of Essex County.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Rob. Thank you, members of the media. Mayor Dilkens, Warden McNamara, any final words?
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Warden.
Well, thank you very much. Please get vaccinated.
WEVaxToWin.ca.
WEVax.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, Warden. Immediately
Thank you, Dana.
following this webinar, a recording of this meeting will be posted to the City of Windsor Facebook page for anyone who is not able to tune in live. Thank you all and stay safe.